What's up, everybody? Sorry, I was eating a cookie. Yes, I said I was eating a cookie. And as you can tell, I've got new lights in the shop. The shop here, my upstairs shop, I got brand new lights, man. Those hexagon lights, they are amazing. And the price was great. I got about 38 feet of them. I got a whole lot. But anyway, let me go ahead and thank our awesome, loyal uh, sponsors for tonight. First up, we got our good friends over at Jade Affiliated. JadeAF.com. Jade Affiliated on all your social media platforms. Who are they? They manufacture wheels, custom parts for Harley Davidsons, man. And I'm sure they got wheels for everything out there. Jad over at Jade Affiliated is a great guy, does awesome work. I am personally running the Walter White on our new build. So if you are in the market for some wheels, you have got to get over to jadeaf.com and go order you a set from Jad at Jade Affiliated. Next up, American Drag Seats. AmericanDragSeats.com. You need a custom motorcycle seat? Go see us. We can get you covered. You need something recovered, you need something modified, you need a bobber seat, a Harley seat, anything you need, we got you covered. Get over to AmericanDragSeats.com and give us a call. Check us out on all the social media platforms. Also, American Drag Seats, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, it's everywhere. American Drag Seats. Check us out. Next up, our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine, urbanridesmagazine.com. Any of you guys follow Jason Silman? He is half of the urbanridesmagazine.com. He made a really, really good post earlier this week about Daniel Roby and Daniel Roby's dedication to this industry. It is by far no one compared to the time that Daniel Roby and Urban Rides Magazines puts into this industry. You've got to get over to urbanridesmagazine.com and get you a subscription. You will not regret it. Next up is our good friends over at hopkins-design.com. Mr. Earl Hopkins is a personal friend of mine. He does all of my websites for the grind, American Drag Seats, Orion Metalworks. He does all of my websites, and he's been doing them for over 20 years. He is very good at it. He can do websites, printing, logos, photos, videos, anything you could possibly need for your company. He can do it. Go check him out at hopkins-design.com. And last, but definitely not least, is our good friends over at Hell's Speed Shop. hellspeedshop.com is the place you need to go if you like flannel shirts, hats, t-shirts, all kinds of cool stuff. They have it all. Been a long-time supporter of the show, and I personally have like 20 of their flannels. They're just awesome, awesome shirts. You got to get over to hellspeedshop.com and order you some up. So what's happening, everybody? Let me get over here and open up my personal page really quick like. Let me see. The reason I do this is because it's streaming on different places. So I always want to make sure that I go to all the places to answer all the questions as they come in and stuff like that. So here we go. Let me see. I got to turn the volumes down. There we go. Got the volumes turned down now. So anyway, tonight's show is a recap, or should say an update of the 2025 All Texas Bagger Build Off. It is still happening. It's going to be at Blowouts Biker Bash at the Galveston County Fairgrounds, and it's on Highway 6, just off of I-45 South, which is right there on the way to Galveston. So it's real easy to get to. It's only probably about 10, 15 minutes from the Strand. So it's real close. So you guys need to get over there Friday at noon, because that's when the bikes will be being judged and you'll get to see them up close. And it should be a really, 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 really good time. Now, I do want to talk about something a little bit different tonight, other than just motorcycles, because you guys know the show is about motorcycles and things like that. But when I was at church tonight, the pastor was talking about Revelations. Now, the show is not going to be about Revelations, but the show is about um, it. Well, let me back up a little bit. So, I spoke with a friend of mine last week, and I speak to this guy all the time, and I've spoken to other builders across the country, and I've had conversations with them that are wrapping around the topic that I'm going to talk about tonight. But it's at church tonight where I got this idea to actually do this. So I see that one of my pages has froze up. Let me know if it's still frozen, so I can see what's going on. If you're watching, please leave a comment where you're watching from, so that I know you're watching. So there we go. Now it's not frozen. Well, it just froze back up again. Maybe it's my cell phone that's freezing up. But anyway, so I've had conversations over the last couple of years. Um, two others are watching with you. What's up, Wayne? Um, but anyway, so let me get to this. So my point is that I've heard a lot of people, including myself, over all the 56 years I've been aligned. What's up, Gary Dubois? Um, that you always try to help people. Man, I'm always helping people, and no one ever helps me. Man, I'm always helping people, but nobody helps me. So I know in business, we're here to make money. That's what everybody's for. That's why you start businesses, because you enjoy what you're doing. You see a way to make money at it. You jump off into it. You invest your money, you invest your time, and you try to start this business and get it up and going. Well, I do know that in the motorcycle industry, it seems like painters, seat guys, chrome shops, parts suppliers, all kinds of people out there. I've heard them all say, "Man, I'm always helping somebody, but even when I'm helping them, they get kind of crappy with me, and it just makes me not want to help them anymore." I've never heard a single shop. What's up, Uncle Bruno? I've never heard a single shop say that they don't help people. But I do know for a fact that there are customers out there. What's up, Mr. Towers? Good to see you watching. Um, I know that there's customers out there that are hard to deal with sometimes. And there are customers out there that will jump from shop to shop to shop. And basically what they're doing is they're just looking. They're looking at getting something, and they eventually land on a shop that just gives them everything they want. But as soon as they give them everything they want, they find out the work's not quite up to par, because you can't give your work away. Now, I will say this. This is the topic of the show is not about customers and business. The actual show is about, why do you help people when you do things? Like me, I've had people over the last 20 years ask me to help them make something, ask me to help them on their bikes, ask me to help them, assemble things, or, can you just help me out, man? I don't have a lot of money. I can't. And trying to be a good Christian, trying to be a good human being, I always try to help people. And when I help people, it always, every single time, it always turns around and bites me in the butt. Because when I'm helping someone, I'm actually doing it out of the kindness of my heart. But then sometimes you start getting taken advantage of. And that's kind of what I want to talk about on tonight's show is whose fault is it when you start getting taken advantage of by people? Is it the people that are taking advantage of you? Is it their fault? Or is it your fault for allowing people to take advantage of you? Well, I personally believe it's your fault. It's your fault for giving into people and helping people so much that they inadvertently expect it now. They expect you to go out of your way. They expect you to give things for free. They expect you, but that's what you've taught them to do by being so kind, by being so nice about situations. So I had and I'll tell you guys a story. I'm not going to say his name, but I'm going to tell you guys a story that I had a painter one time that I really considered a great friend of mine, amazing person, amazing human being. But I never ever told him about the dissatisfaction I had with his paint jobs. And I only got 2 of his paint jobs. That's it. What's up, Mr. Mike Maines? Um, but I never told him that hey, that's not what I wanted. I was just grateful that someone took the time to do the paint job and go out of their way to utilize their talents. What's up, Miss Nancy? Chris Carlstrom's in the house. Wayne Smith, Bo Thompson. So what I'm trying to say is that I never told him. I never expressed to him that I was dissatisfied with the paint jobs, not the quality of the paint job, but the overall paint job. It's not what I wanted. It's not even close to what I wanted. But I was so meek and so timid that I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. What's up, Mr. Scotty Roberts? In me not telling him how I actually felt, ended up building a relationship where he just did whatever he wanted, charged whatever he wanted, and basically F you because that's what you get. Well, I laid the foundation for that. I laid the foundation by saying, yeah, that looks good. And then going home and being upset because it's not anything close to what I wanted. When what I should have told him is, hey, man, your work is great, but this is not what I asked for. This is not what I wanted. This is not what we agreed upon. I mean, I told you what I wanted. You didn't do what I wanted. So, yes, the quality of what you did is really good, and I appreciate the time you put into it, but it's not what I wanted. I should have established that boundary right then, but I didn't. And then when the second paint job came, it was so far off what I actually wanted, what I paid for, what I expressed, the drawings I sent. And again, that was the second time. And it was so different that standing there looking at him and looking at the paint job, I'm sure he had to have seen my disapproval. But here and again, he was my friend and I didn't want to hurt his feelings, so I didn't say anything. Well, since that happened in the mid 2000s, I've not used this man ever again. I refuse to use somebody that does not value me, A, as a customer, but B, as a friend. Because when I ask you for something and we write it down and we agree on a price or we agree on what I want done, you should give me what I want because we've already agreed upon it. We talked about it. And it shouldn't be a thing about me hurting your feelings. This is why you must use great painters. Yeah, you must use great painters. Well, a lot of people, speaking about that, Scotty, is a lot of people don't have the artistic ability to convey what they want to a painter. And painters, especially painters, are left holding the bag for whatever it is they come up with, as long as they use the colors. But in my situation, I had a drawing and I put the drawing on the bike and said, this is where I want this. I want it to go here. I want it to go there. I want it to go like this. And I finally detailed what I wanted. Now, the artwork that he put in that was all going to be up to him, but I wanted the artwork to be this certain way on the bike. And it was nowhere close to that. Now, the reason I tell you that is because if you're a bike shop, if you're an individual, and you rely on friendship when you're getting paint jobs, you're getting, even motorcycle seats. Just to show you guys, I'm doing a seat right now for a guy like this. So I actually did the seat, but I drew it and then took a picture of the drawing, sent it to him. And then I actually stitched it, sent a picture to him. And then I did this and sent it to him. Now there's still a whole lot of work left to do to this seat, but I'm allowing him the opportunity to approve every single step. because that part that I just showed you right there is only about 2.5 to 3 hours worth of work, because it's fine line drawing, and then you gotta, it's an inlay with foam and a lot of stitching. But my whole point is that I have to stay in complete contact, because my biggest fear as an artisan is interpreting what the customer wants, but not meeting the mark. So by doing it the way that I do it, it's a lot of extra steps. I've also got to communicate with the customer repeatedly. It's a lot more. I could have just said, exhibit, you're going to get what you get and be done with it. What's up, Mr. Baby Legs Barker? Glad to see you in the house tonight, man. We need to talk, my friend. We need to talk. Call me tomorrow. I'll be on wait while you waiting for you to call me tomorrow. But anyway, so back to the whole thing is about, when you choose to do work on someone's bike, whether it's a paint job, it's a motorcycle seat, it's chrome work, stereo work, it doesn't matter. Everybody out there has a degree of, yeah, man, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out. But what is the intent behind, yeah, I'm gonna help you out? Because it's the, I'm gonna help you out, and then that customer doesn't appreciate the help that you gave them. It kind of builds a wall between you, puts some unnecessary friction between you, when in reality, what I think has helped me is, when I help people, I do it for free. If I'm helping you and I'm not charging you, I'm giving that to you for nothing, and I expect nothing in return. I don't even expect the return favor anymore, because 30 years of doing stuff on my own for my own businesses, when I help people, I'm always 100% of the time disappointed in the level of help they're going to give me back, because they're never going to give it back to me the way that I gave it freely to them. So I had to sit here and tell myself, we're done. I if I'm going to help people, I'm helping them, and I'm done with it. I don't expect any kindness. I don't expect any repayments. I don't expect anything. Lending money is the same thing. I've got money. I'm going to lend you my money, which means you're going to pay me my money back. All right. I'll give you 12 months to pay me all my money back. At the end of 12 months, I'm going to become an asshole. And I literally tell people that up front. So if you make me ask you for my money within the next 12 months, I'm going to be a butthole. I'm not going to ask you for the first 12 months, where's my money? But at the end of 12 months, I'm going to be all over you. So don't put me in that position. 100% of the time when I lend the money, they had the conversation, they knew what the terms were, they still end up getting mad at me. Well, I don't have the money. I can't pay you back. You want me to just shit the money? You want to? No, we had a conversation. We're friends. You were in a rough way. I helped you out. You knew it was a loan, basically, with no interest. Just give me my money back within the next 12 months. Now you're going to treat me like crap, which is why I don't lend money anymore. I do not lend money at all. If you come up to me and you're like, man, I just, I'm a couple $100 short on this payment. Can you help me out? No, I can't. Well, why not? Well, because I value our friendship a whole lot more than paying that $200 for you. So I just don't do it. Kevin, come help me get these wheel centers on my monster truck you made for me 2 years ago. I've been to the swamp and with paint work to work on my own shit. Ha ha! I made them. You can install them. Drilling some holes ain't that hard. But anyway, so my whole point is that, over the last 30 years, I've had conversations with customers. I've had conversations with friends. I've done these acts of kindness that, really help people out. I've stayed up really, really late knowing I got to be up at 5 a.m. helping somebody out, but it's never appreciated and it's never given back. That's why I say I no longer do that shit. I don't do it anymore. Now, when I help someone out with something, I help them out, I'm done. I don't expect you to give me back what the kindness that I gave you. Because if I expect it back from you, you're going to disappoint me because something else is going to be more important. Something else is going to be, in the way of you returning that kindness back to me. So what I do now, you may call it cynical, but what I do is I help people when I've got the time and I've got the resources. And if I don't have the time and I ain't got the resources, I can't help you. And I'm sorry. And if our friendship is not strong enough for me to tell you, no, I can't help you, then it was never a good friendship. It just wasn't. Because real friends, when they need your help, those people are always there for you when you need help. That's a great indicator of a good friend. Is that if you sit back and you think, man, how many times did this dude drive to my house to see me? How many times did this dude pick up the phone to call me? How many times was this guy there when I needed a ride? How many times was this guy there when I really needed something? And man, that'll answer your questions for you right there. People, people that are actually good for you, unfortunately, are not always the nicest people to you because they know the boundaries. They know what things are going to hurt relationships and what things aren't going to hurt relationships. What's up, Mr. Hoover? Thanks for watching. But the reason I tell you this is because sometimes over the last 15, 17 years, being a professional welder and metalsmith, people have asked me to make them things. And I make them things. And, I enjoy doing it. I didn't do it as a career. I mean, I did it as a career in the plant and I got paid good money and all that. But the trinketing and stuff like that, I would just do that stuff for free. I never really charged anybody. But I never expected to get paid for it. But at some point in time, you have to ask yourself, why am I willing to give you my time for free? Why am I willing to give you my resources for free? Why am I willing to do this? Am I willing to do it because I want you to be my friend? Or am I willing to do these things because you're already established as my friend? Because if I'm willing to do it to influence you to be my friend, buddy, giving people shit for free does not influence anybody to be your friend. It just makes them, an opportunist, and it makes you gullible. People that want to be your friend and want to be in your circle, as a lot of people like to say, they're going to be in your circle with the phone calls. They're going to be in your circle with wanting to spend time with you. They're going to be in your circle to help you. One thing I value in a friendship is not having to call that friend. That friend calls me. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not calling my friends. It means I don't have to call my friends. They call me. They make the effort. They make the effort for me. That's my first indication of a good friend. My second indication of a good friend is when I call, if they don't answer, they instantly send a text message saying, hey, I'll call you back. But if they do answer, they always have time for me. Now, I may not call them or talk to them, but once a year. But when I call, they answer. And if they don't answer, they instantly send a response saying, hey, give me a minute, I'll call you back. If I've got friends that I never hear from, that I do call, and half the time I get them, the other half the time I don't get them, they're acquaintances. That's what they are. They're acquaintances. You can't mix friends and business, period. A real friend will pay you and support you, period. Keith, you are 100% correct with that. I've seen those memes all over the internet. Real friends will pay full price. Now, Keith, let me ask you a question, brother. How many of your friends pay you full price? It's an honest question. Now let me explain as you answer that question. I have a hard time with my circle of friends I have a hard time charging them what I would normally charge. Now, let me explain. As a business owner, you're responsible for the light bill, you're responsible for the taxes, you're responsible for, money coming in, money going out. I mean, you're responsible for that business. So, I'm not going to say if you're a good businessman or a bad businessman, your business will be successful or unsuccessful. What I'm going to say is you're the responsible for one, the get up and go to get that business either in a successful place or get out there and make an effort. You're responsible for that. Now, when one of your friends comes into the picture and they're, hey man, I really want a custom motorcycle seat. I love what you do. I've never needed your services before, but hey, I want a seat from you. What will you charge me? I have a hard time telling my close inner circle friends, hey man, my prices start at $650, or my prices start at $900, or my prices start at $1,200, or whatever the number is for the service that they're wanting. I have a hard time with that because I reflect back on the friendship and I'm like, yeah, but that one time, man, when I didn't have any money, they, actually bought me lunch, or, that one time I needed a ride from somewhere, they were really there for me. So I like to extend back that kindness that they extended to me first. Now, on the flip side of that, if I have a friend come to me and say, hey man, I got this, Corbin seat and, it's hard as a rock. Can you fix it? I'll be like, nah, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. The reason I say there's nothing I can do is because why did you go to Corbin first? You're supposed to be one of my friends. Why would you go to Corbin knowing for the last 25 years I've been doing motorcycle seats? Why would you go to Corbin first? Why wouldn't you come to your boy first? That's where I draw the line. Now, if I have a friend that just bought a motorcycle seat, they're like, dude, I just bought a motorcycle. I got to get one of your seats on my bike, man. I have to. I've been watching you for so long. And, I just now got into bikes. I'm going to extend that kindness to my friend because he came to me first. Now, I'm not going to kid you. My prices are not cheap. They're not. But my customer service is priceless. And if you don't know what I just said, you probably need to practice. You probably need to think about what you're doing. So I only have a small circle, so they pay me, but they do not pay regular prices at all. They get the friends or family price, but they do not get put in front of full price customers. That's another thing. Baby Legs Barker, man, I didn't think it all the way through. I'm reading shit. What's up, Mr. Chris Harrison? Nothing is free at my shop. Maybe info to help other shops out. Blah, blah, blah. Kevin, come help me get these well. So, I would help, and Brian knows I would help. But anyway, so my whole point is when you choose to help somebody, when you choose to be kind to somebody, when you choose to not charge for something, you're doing that out of the kindness of your heart with no expectation. Because if you're doing it for any other reason, it's insincere. You have a hidden agenda, and you shouldn't. Because if you have a hidden agenda, you should just go ahead and tell the person, hey, look, I'd love to help you out, but my time is expensive. My time is money. If you really want me, I'll come help you. Here's what I'm going to charge you, though. It's kind of touch and go, but the whole reason I wanted to have this conversation tonight is simply because of that. Is because a lot of people feel like they're helping people, and all you're doing is training them on how to treat you. You're training them on what you will allow them to do to you. I'm 56 years old. I am literally at the point in my life, which I've only been there a couple of years. My expectations of people are pretty much zero now because I've been screwed over on every front that you can possibly think of, from friendships to business relationships to all kinds of stuff. And I've just finally understood that, you know what? I have a value. If you can't see the value, then go to the shop that you can see the value in. If you don't believe in my abilities, then don't use me. Use someone else and believe in their abilities. I'm not going to get my back still hurts, Nancy. Thank you so much for asking. That's a good friend right there, Nancy Weems. Nancy Weems just asked me how my back is. I appreciate that, Nancy. That actually makes me feel good. But anyway, so back to what I was saying is you have to train people on how you're going to be treated. Because if you allow and you accept certain things to slide, they're going to run away with it. And no offense, it's human nature to do that. Like if you have a friend and you're constantly doing nothing but talking shit to that friend and calling them names and stuff like that, and the friend never gets upset and they're always just like, ha ha ha, that's funny, ha ha. But then they go home and talk to their wife and they're like, that motherfucker, man, I can't believe he gives me a hard time every single day. He never has anything nice to say. Dude, stay away from those people. The reality of that situation is that you should have stopped that shit in the beginning. The first time they put you down, the first time they called you a name, you should have said, yo, whoa, what's all that about? Why are you doing that? Have I done something to piss you off? Man, there's no reason to be calling me names and, calling me out for bullshit. There's no reason in that. But when you don't say anything, you're allowing them to treat you that way. And it's become normal to them, so they get to the point they don't think anything of it, and they may want to really 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 be your friend, but they treat you like shit because you allowed them to treat you like shit from the very beginning, which goes back to my whole thing about favors. If you're going to help someone because they're a good customer or they've done things for you in the past, then leave it at just that. Don't expect any more, any less from them. I'm coming to help you. I'm going to help you. I expect nothing in return. Now, I will say this: if you're constantly helping people, they're going to keep expecting your help because they think that is the thread of your relationship, your friendship with them. Don't let it happen. I mean, no offense. When Devin started Legacy Bike Works 2.5 years ago, anytime I would work with other shops, hey man, we're not big enough. We can't get a drag specialty, this, that, or the other. They were like, oh man, we'll give it to you at cost. I would instantly tell them, no, you're not going to give it to me at cost. The reason is because you're in business to make money. Now, if your markup is 20%, man, to help a shop out, I'll pay you 10%. So you're at least making money off of me and allowing me to make money off the customer without gouging the customers. So I've always been that way. You can ask everybody, nah, if you can't make money off of my services, then I don't want you using my services, because that's the real world. That's business. And that keeps your business separate from your friendship, because your business side is, I'm in business to make money. Well, so am I. But we also have a friendship here. So I don't want to take advantage of you, but I also don't want you taking advantage of me. And I'm not going to allow you to allow me to take advantage of you. And by saying, hey, man, I won't make anything, I'll give it to you at my cost, that means you're just giving it to me. You're not making any money for your effort on the phone, for your effort helping me look up the parts, for your help with the R&D to figure things out. No. You're in business. I want to pay you. Because I'm another businessman, I don't want to pay you full retail price, but I can afford to pay you half retail price, so you're still putting money in your pocket. Now, that doesn't seem like a whole lot, but at the end of the day, they can never argue with me that I've taken advantage of them. They can only say, well, I helped you out. I understand that, and I appreciate your help. And when I'm in a position to help you, I will do everything in my power to help you back, to return that favor, because your kindness will be reciprocated from me, which is typically what I do. I typically try to help other people out, and I don't really ask for help when it comes to my place, because I don't want to be told no. And I don't want to put, a working relationship in jeopardy because I need your help and you're too much of a dick to give me your help. So I don't ask. But I keep mental notes. I do. I keep mental notes of things I make for people, how much it cost me to make it for them, how much it would have cost them to purchase that stuff. And I keep those mental notes because one day I'm going to need that return. I'm going to need that help. And if you tell me, oh, I ain't got time. Oh, no. I'm going to have to charge you for this. I'll be like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. Well, back then when I helped you, I didn't charge you. So I'm going to take my business somewhere else and give them the money because I don't want to give you the money because I already helped you and you're basically telling me you can't help me back. So, okay, have a nice day. May not be cheap, but neither was the quality. Love my seat. John Lynch, as long as you're happy, my man, I'm happy for you. Business is business, friendship is friendship. Never confuse the two. Exactly, brother. Friendship isn't just about convenience. It's about being there even when it's not convenient. That's the thing. Now, I'm glad you said that, Scott. So you hear a lot of people say this, and it's the in my opinion, it is the most sincere way of saying I'm sorry. But when someone goes through medical issues or someone loses a loved one or a spouse or heaven forbid a child, your first inclination is to, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you, and I will. But then they call you and they're like, hey man, I need you to pay my rent because this death in the family's got me screwed up and I lost my job. Oh man, I can't help you with your rent. Rewind. You clearly told that human being, oh man, I'm so sorry for your loss. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. You won't hear me say that. You will never hear me say that. What you'll hear me say is, hey, I'm really so sorry for your loss. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. And if I'm able to help you, I will do my best. Because they may get to a point they need something I can't help them with. And I have to let them know I'm going to help you if I can, if it's within my ability to help you. You know, it's it's a reality. It's a boundary that unfortunately it is, and it's got to be that way. Just like if somebody tells me, hey man, can you come help me move a couch tomorrow? No, I mean I would, but my back is thrown out right now, dude, and I can barely wipe my own butt on the toilet because it hurts so bad. Let me make a phone call and see if I can find someone else to help you with that. And that's the best I can do. But I won't just tell them no, I can't help you. If I can help, I'm going to help. If I can't, then I'm not going to tell you I can't. And I'm not going to be a dick about it. I'm just going to, that's a boundary I have to set. You know, uh, yes, sir, Mr. Baby Legs, I will. Uh, the reason I say all that is because you hear situations where people get into and they genuinely do try to help people. And then the people they're helping expect it. Right. See, right on, Scott Hoover. Um, but here and again, if they're you're building the expectation in them. They're expecting it from you now, and then when you don't give it to them, they get upset with you. They don't return your calls. They don't return your texts, and then they're going to tell you, "Oh man, I was just busy. I was just busy." When in reality, what they should have said is, "Nah, man, screw you, dude. You told me you were going to help me. You didn't show up." But here and again, you don't want to hurt their feelings. But in the big picture, you know, it was kind of clear. I'll try to help you tomorrow if I can, but if I can't help you, I can't help you. You know, you just got to set the boundary and set the groundwork for the friendship and what's given. and expect it. That's what you just got to do. I mean, like when I do motorcycle seats for people, I tell people all the time, hey, look, you're willing to pay for something because you expect something. I'm willing to give you something, but I expect the money for it. So as long as we're in agreement with you expect a certain product and I expect a certain dollar amount, we're going to get along fine. But that's why I send so many of these text messages and I send so many updates. It's because there's nothing worse than sending somebody an update over and over and over, and they approve every fucking thing you want, and then when they see the finished product, they're like, oh no, that's not what I want. Oh no, that's not what I paid for. Bullshit, it's not. I've got everything in text message outlined from the day you contacted me when you sent me your year, make, model, and your mailing address. Yes, I do. I have it all. So if you think I've done you wrong, here's the text message trail saying I have not. You have approved everything. But you have to build that expectation of the customer. I'm expecting a customer to value what I do. I'm also expressing to the customer that shit happens. You miss one bolt with Loctite, one bolt, but you crank that bitch down. But that's the one bolt that comes loose. Customer gets mad. What's the expectation of the customer? Man, fuck you, I'm not taking my bike back to you. You left a bolt loose. Well, what about the other fucking 90 bolts that I tightened down that are still there? That's where shit goes south, which is why I express to customers, I'm a human being. I'm not a robot. Shit happens. If shit were to happen, just bring the bike back or we'll come get it. We'll handle it. We'll take care of it for you. And we put that shit in writing now because you leave nothing to chance. Nothing can be left to chance. And that sounds so bad. But the reality is you're building a relationship with somebody, whether it's a customer relationship or whether it's a personal relationship. You're building the relationship and you still have to have boundaries. It is what it is. But anyway, guys, I've rambled enough. I think you guys really get my point. Set your boundaries, know your lanes, and let people know you're human. Let people know you also have expectations and tolerances. I'm only going to tolerate so much and then I'm out. I expect so much or I'm out. It's just communication, which, no offense, is what this fucking country needs right now. We need to learn how to talk, and we need to learn how to quit pushing people's buttons just for the reactions, just because. I've actually gotten to the point where I stopped. I stopped even replying to certain things. I've stopped poking. I've stopped doing it all because at the end of the day, I just want everybody to be happy. Long as it's not the damn neck bolt you leave loose. Amen to that. Amen to that. Um, but my whole point is that just be honest and just have the communication. Anyway, you guys have a great Thursday night, and we will see you all back here next Thursday night. Thank you again for watching. Please push the share button and get over to YouTube and follow the Grind Biker Build Off on YouTube. Hit the little bell so you get the notifications, and let's try to grow that channel, man. It's going to do a lot for this industry if we can grow that freaking channel. Anyway, you guys be blessed. Have a great week. Take care of yourselves and be nice.